One of the hard parts about being a dividend focused YouTuber is trying to appeal to the many different kinds of dividend investors out there.
It's just so many.
Well, in my attempt to do just that, welcome back to the Power 5 Stocks of the Week. In this series, each week I present you all with the top performers in the following categories: dividend yield, dividend streak, dividend growth rates, 10-year returns, and the stock trading the highest percentage off of their 52-week high. All of these stocks are going to have an ex-dividend date of next week, and the only requirements for consideration to be on this list is that you have to have outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 10 years and have a dividend streak of at least 5 years.
That's fair. That's real fair.
If you're looking for a brand new take on a top 5 series you're not going to find anywhere else on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe and tune in each and every Friday.
Willis, you heard the man.
Before we dive into this week's video, I wanted to show you how this week's list was broken down when my filters were applied. I began with 245 different dividend stocks that had ex-dividend dates between June 12th and June 16th. Then I went down to 100 stocks once I required them to also have a dividend streak of 5 or more years. Finally, the list was brought down to just 40 stocks, or 16.33% of the original list, when I filtered for only the stocks that had outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 10 years. From there, I let the numbers speak for themselves, and here are the best of the best. The stock that led the pack this week in dividend yield is Capital Southwest, stock ticker CSWC. CSWC is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $2.16 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 11.56%. CSWC has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 8.26%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 15.45%, and a payout ratio of 84.78%. Capital Southwest has an ex-dividend date of June 14th and a payout date of June 30th, and a lump sum $10,000 investment into Capital Southwest 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $83,868.50, which is a 23.69% year-over-year return rate. And here on the channel, I always like to compare to the S&P 500 because if you're going to take the time and energy and effort to invest in individual stocks, you're going to want to outperform the market, or you might as well just invest in the market. The S&P 500 in the same time turned into $31,346.71, which means you would have been $52,521.79 richer investing into CSWC. And this week's leader in longevity with the longest dividend streak is Albemarle, stock ticker ALB. ALB is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying $1.60 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 0.77%. ALB has been paying and growing that dividend over the last 29 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 2.14%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 4.13%, and a very low payout ratio of just 5.3%. Albemarle has an ex-dividend date of June 15th with a payout date of July 3rd, and that $10,000 investment into ALB 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then turned into $36,696.89, which is a 13.88% year-over-year return rate. Again, compared to the S&P that turned into $31,346.71, which is a difference of $5,350.18 over the last 10 years. One of my favorite categories is the dividend growth rates, and this week's leader is Universal Display, stock ticker OLED. OLED is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $1.40 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 0.94%. OLED has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 6 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 40.58%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 52.82%, and a payout ratio of 28.86%. Universal Display has an ex-dividend date of June 15th and a payout date of June 30th, and a single $10,000 investment into OLED 10 years ago while only reinvesting dividends since then would have turned into $52,852.40, which is an 18.11% year-over-year return rate. Again, we know the S&P 500 turned into that $31,346.71, which results in a difference of $21,505.69 on the side of OLED. We've reached the halfway point in today's video. Please help me grow the YouTube channel by taking just 1 second to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Doing this will help YouTube recommend my content to others that might also enjoy it. Lastly, I'm open to suggestions. Use the comment section down below to let me know if there's any dividend related content you guys want to see in future videos. But now let's get to these final 2 stocks. Another one of my favorite categories is the stock with the best 10-year returns. This week's stock is Lam Research, stock ticker LRCX. LRCX is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $6.90 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 1.12%. LRCX has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 9 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 13.63%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 28.57%, and a payout ratio of just 18.06%. Lam Research has an ex-dividend date of June 13th, with the payout date of July 5th, and a single $10,000 lump sum investment into Lam Research 10 years ago, while only reinvesting those dividends since then, would have turned into $145,348.19, which is a 30.68% year-over-year return rate, which we know is compared to the S&P that turned into that $31,346.71, which is a mind-boggling difference of $114,001.48 in just 10 years on just 10K. And if you're looking for a deal, this stock might be for you. This week's stock trading the highest percentage off of their 52-week high is Next Point Residential Trust, stock ticker NXRT. NXRT is a quarterly payer in the real estate sector, paying $1.68 per share per year, with a forward dividend yield of 3.85%. NXRT has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 8 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 10.84%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 11.23%, and a payout ratio of negative 383.49%. Not really sure how that works, but that's what I found. At the time of recording, NXRT was trading 41.63% off of their 52-week high. NextPoint has an ex-dividend date of June 14th with a payout date of June 30th. And the history for this one only goes back about 8.21 years. But had you invested your $10,000 into NXRT 8.21 years ago, that would have turned into $40,048.75, which is an 18.41% year-over-year return rate, whereas the S&P 500 in the same time frame turned into $23,750.74, which results in a difference of $16,298.01 in a little bit over 8 years. As mentioned in the video, each of these stocks have outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 8+ years. All of them have a dividend streak of at least 6 years, and as a bonus, each and every one of these stocks has an ex-dividend date of next week if you choose to make the purchase. Let me know in the comments if any of these stocks piqued your interest and what it was about that stock that got you excited. And this past Monday, I released a video that goes over all the moves I've made this past month, the dividends received, and my year-over-year progress. I truly believe that I put out the best recaps on YouTube, and I'd love to know what you think.
He's not wrong.
If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you check it out right here. But until next time, see ya.